All right. Good morning. Well, it's good morning here. It's morning here in Arizona. And welcome to the Spiritual Warrior YouTube channel. Every Tuesday, we go live in the morning at 8 a.m. Pacific. Well, it's 8:06, but we go live and we talk about different topics related to what it means to be a spiritual warrior, which means what it means to be courageous, generous, a truth seeker, loving, compassionate, and really able to show up during this time of deep transition. And also a spiritual warrior works on their inner work so they can shine their light and shine their gifts to those in the world. Okay, so let's talk about this week. We're going to be talking about what is human design. And so I don't read human design. I have been a receiver of human design. My family has been a receiver of human design, and it is incredibly powerful. So I wanted to come on here and talk just from a user's standpoint, not someone who does readings or does people's charts, but just talk to you about how powerful human design is. Now, human design is combines a few different modalities, including numerology and astrology. It's where science meets. It's like the way I look at it is like it's where science meets the soul. There's a fly in here. Where science meets the soul. And so it's taking these like ancient practices such as numerology and astrology, and bringing it together with a very like a map of the soul. So let me just share with you my experience of just quickly of receiving a human design reading and how powerful it is. So we all go through, I know that it's like where we all live in our own body, right? Like I live in my body, you live in your body, you live in your own mind, I live in my own mind. And we have these like they're almost kind of like our own universe. We're in our own little spaceship right here. You are in yours and I am in mine. And we learn from a very young age. Some of us have learned that we can let people in on our spaceship and it feels safe and we can share what's going on in our own little soul spaceship. And then some of us, we kind of like close the spaceship door and say, you know what? I'm going to let you in, but you stay out. Or I'll come out and meet you here when I'm good and ready. We begin to learn how to interact from our own soul spaceship from a very young age. What feels safe, what doesn't feel safe, but there's so much going on in here. And I do soul readings, spiritual readings, shamanic readings a few times a year as a gift to my community at a very, very like good hourly price. And here's what I learned the most from these readings is that people want to know one thing. What is my purpose? What am I doing here? Now, some people know their purpose and some people feel like they know what their soul is here to do. Or some people know what they're here to do some of the time, or they're here to do a little bit, but they haven't ignited their whole entire purpose. And many people go through what the like they did what they were supposed to do, especially people in their like 50s and 60s. They've gone through a career and they've like, I did all the things. I went to school, I did the career, and now what? Now what? So that is the number one question. What is my soul's purpose? And which is amazing, right? Because we live in our own spaceship all the time, right? We're there. And it's like, it's like understanding ourselves becomes a thing within itself. We'd think we'd understand ourselves more than anybody else would understand us, but oftentimes we don't. And here's why. Here's one of the reasons why. We are sifting through so much programming. We're sifting through the programming of your parents, of your mom, your parents' lineages, the schools you went to, the media. We're just like, it's like what's real and what's not real. So with human design breaks down your soul's path in a way where you can understand it, in a way of like, oh, that's why I interact that way. And that's why this works and this doesn't work. Oh, this is what the karmic energy I've been incarnating into lifetime after lifetime. Oh, that makes so much sense. And it will be able to support you in your life so that you can begin to see your life from a very different lens, your path from a very different lens, and not just what you're doing in this life, but your karmic path, your soul path. Now, there's 5 different designs where people go into 5 different categories. There's manifesting generator, a generator, a reflector, projector, and a manifester. Manifesting generator, that's what I am. I'm a manifesting generator, which means that I can be a workhorse, meaning I can definitely do things. And this is the most common. Manifesting generator are the most common. My husband's one too. I'm actually an emotional manifesting generator, which means that I rely on my emotions to guide me for a lot of things, which is very, very true. So I can manifest things and I can generate things. Then there's the manifester. The manifestors are rare. They are like the people that you are like, how did they create an empire? How did they do that? Like, how do they get all these things? They're manifestors. They manifest things naturally and things come easily to them. Projector, which was my daughter. My daughter is a projector. They're rare. I don't know them all very well, but I'll give you what I do know. And projectors use other people's energy to be able to like bounce things off of. They need to work like 4 hours a day. They are very sensitive. And when they do things that are not aligned with their personality level, with their human design, such as, let's say, a projector that gets a job they need to work 14 hours a day, they're going to burn out. They're going to completely burn out. They're not, and like it could end up getting sick and all the other things, where if they really worked around their design, they would be really productive a few hours a day and have incredible results. Then there's the reflector, which is only 1% of the population. I've only met one reflector in my life, and they are like the unicorns. They are, I'm not going to say too much about them because I don't know that much about them, but they too, like projectors, can only get to work like a few hours a day. They have a very specific energy system and they reflect back. Like when you're with a reflector, they know how to reflect you back to you. So they're working energetically, often very hard. And so they have so much going on with them energetically. Whereas, like me, I'm a manifesting generator. So I can generate and pull out. I can go in and out, inward and outward. And I can work. I can work long hours and I can do many, many things at once. Now, because I'm an emotional manifesting generator, I have to be careful not to be like led by emotions or be reactive to emotions and work around my design. So when you get your human design reading, and you can find out, you can Google it. You won't get a full reading. You won't find out like your incarnation cross or anything like that, unless you know how to read a chart, which I don't. But all you need is your birth date, the time you were born and where you were born. Now, if you don't know what time you were born, you can intuitively say, like feel into it. Like, do I feel like I was born in the morning? Do I feel like I was born in the afternoon? Like what am I intuitively feeling like I was born into? And you can go on any kind of website, just Google it, and they will give you your design, but you won't get like the full reading. So what I've seen for people is like human design is such an amazing map to give people understanding, So once you get your map and your design, even though we're all in our own little emotional spaceship and we think we really should know ourselves really well. That's not how the things are working out in the world, because we have so many expectations of us and programming and all the other things. But when you start to land into like who you really are and you navigate through that, that's when magic happens. That's when everything begins to click. And that's when you begin to understand yourself in a way that you're like, oh, now I get it. Now, here's the next piece. You know your human design. Now what? Now what? okay, I'm a manifesting generator. For me, okay, so the incarnation cross for me was the most interesting. I am a Mayan incarnation cross. What if you, when you get a design, when you get your reading, you'll find out what your cross is. And your cross is that energy that you're incarnating into every lifetime. Like, what is your mission? What are you here to do as a soul? So, for example, mine is the Mayan cross of truth. I'm here to, and lifetime, every time my soul has incarnated to find out truth, to find, not only find out truth, but to live truth, to expose truth. And that is actually true. Like, but like I see things, sometimes I see things that are like truths beyond truths beyond truths, the layers of truth. And how to hold that has been a challenge for me. It's like, oh my gosh, I see that and I feel that and I know that to not be true and I know that to be true. And what's the truth behind this? And that drives me. It has always driven me. It has always driven me. So when you find out your soul cross, your incarnation cross, it was like, oh my gosh, this is what's been driving me my whole life. This is so cool. So you get all this. Now what? Now it's up to you to ignite it. It's up to you to look through what's blocking you from being in the truth of your soul and doing that soul work. It's super cool. So I wanted to come on here and give a plug for human design because it's a very, very powerful modality. And then once you get the design, it's like you can get it, but then again, now what? Work on the next thing. Work on. Here's what I'll say: we are here. Literally, we're here to create relationships, and we're here to build things and create art and laugh and play and buy houses and all, you know, all the things that we do in human world. But we're mainly here to grow. We're here to learn. We are here as human students. And human design is one of those things that where you can learn, be a great student, and then the now what? What am I going to do with this? How am I going to work through these blocks? How am I going to like clear out all this debris of programming that doesn't belong to me anyway, so that I can get into what it is I am really here to do? It's so cool. It's so cool. Okay, so I will be back here next Tuesday, and I will say this: we do have a live retreat happening next month, mid-June, where we're going to be combining human design and shamanism. And shamanism is the now what? Shamanism is the thing that helps you and can support you with clearing out the blocks, igniting the soul work, looking out and clearing out any energy, working on the matriarchal and patriarchal lines to clear out anything that is in the way of you being in your soul's genius and being lit up around it. So in the retreat that we're going to be doing, you're going to get your human design, and then we're going to work on the now what, igniting it and bringing you into more alignment with your purpose so that you can go through the rest of your life really knowing who you are. And not only that, but having the courage to act on it. That's the big piece. And shamanism, energy medicine supports with all of that. If you're interested in learning more about what we're doing at our retreat in the Rocky Mountains, go ahead and we actually can email me at bethosmer.com, or you can even just put me in the comments and we'll have a conversation and see if it's a great fit for you. All right. My name is Beth Osmer, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.